she was able to justify it with two things that are like the most important in my opinion. First of all, this is her dream. This is what she has been preparing for her entire life. So it's only logical and it's only reasonable that she will take the risk to join the competition regardless of anyone's opinion. Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Portelles, and for today's video we have a very special reaction because we are going to continue watching Kisses Delavin's interview with Tito Boy Abunda. And this time around it's gonna be part 3 of the interview. Now, as you guys know, I already released a video on my channel previously with part 2, and I really enjoyed it because I felt like Kisses really opened up when it comes to her personal side of things. You know, like we were able to talk about her childhood, we were talking about some of her experience, like getting into pageants, getting into show business, dealing with like public pressure, and a lot of other aspects. I feel like it gave me a better understanding of who she is as a person. But now I'm really excited about part 3 of this interview because I feel like it's gonna be a little bit more based on pageantry and about the present. So everything that's happening with the Miss Universe Philippines competition and how Kisses is feeling towards all of that's going on, you know. It should be an interesting one because there is a lot of expectation, a lot of talk about Kisses being ready or not being ready, or being experienced enough or not having enough experience. So I'm really interested to see what's her take on all of this. As usual, the only thing that I'm gonna ask from you is that if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let me know in the comment section what did you think about my opinion, my feedback, Tito Boy's questions, Kisses answers, and you know, delivery, anything that you want to talk about. So without further ado, my friends, let's get into today's video. I really hope that you enjoy.
Be strong.
Now let's talk about the Miss Philippines.
Getting right into it.
So nung araw na nag-decision ka, I'm going to fill out the application form 11:59 in the evening. What was going on?
I know the gravity of this situation. If you get this Miss Universe title, it's also a huge responsibility. And syempre joining is also taxing for your strength. So I told my mom, do I have to do this?
Oh,
But it's my dream.
I think you were being recruited for Miss World Philippines.
Yes.
You said no to that, huh?
Yes, Tito Boy, because of the COVID pandemic. So that time I wasn't yet vaccinated. So I thought it was too dangerous.
All right.
But in another time, I would have joined. But then I realized it was better because I was really happy with Miss Universe.
Oh.
You know, because Tito Boy, I've always been a fan of how Miss Universe, the Miss Universe organization has functioned. And so that's why I decided that Miss Universe is the pattern.
So what's this?
Okay, so let's talk about this very quickly because this is major. This is actually something that I've been expecting to hear from Kisses for quite some time now. And it's, you know, how are you going to deal with all of the pressure and all of the expectation? Obviously, something that we have said before is that Kisses is like super deserving, like she's beautiful, she is kind, she is genuine. But then, how do you put such a young girl on a national stage and not only allow people to love her and support her, but also to bash her and throw, you know, insults? And it's a lot for such a young person. She started the interview by saying that I'm aware of the pressure and I'm aware of what people will think of me and say about me. So that's definitely very refreshing. It makes me believe that she has really thought about this and that ultimately she decided to continue and go with Miss Universe because it is her dream and not because this is like a career move or something like that. Although, you know, it might result in some like opportunities at the end of the day. Based on everything that she explained so far, especially during the second part of the interview, I feel like everything that she has done before led her to this moment, to making sure that she goes for Miss Universe, something that she has, you know, dreamed about for the longest time. And also that's a little tea right there that she was offered Miss World Philippines and she said, not because of the pandemic, but then she went for Miss Universe Philippines during the pandemic, girl. She wanted the Miss Universe crown, yeah.
Of course, mom and dad were there. We said,
My mom and dad, they're always my biggest. They have such huge trust in whatever I decide.
okay.
So my mom and dad said that if you don't want to it's okay. If you want to, it's okay.
But Mama's not saying it's okay. We are now in the middle of the journey. How has it been so far? Let's start with the headshot challenge.
Okay, we're talking about the competition. Yes.
Cute. And then dog. You know by who? Miss Tita Lana Flores, my makeup artist.
Oo.
Sila rin ang kumuha.
Opo.
Okay.
That was from a shoot from before because I really like my long hair there. And so Tita Lana was like, I have a HD copy of that. And she sent it to me immediately. She was in the middle of a shoot, but she paused everything. And sent the photo.
As this was going on, were you doing training in Masbate?
Okay, about her headshot challenge, you know, a lot of people, including myself, I was not like super impressed with it because I told myself this is an old photo shoot. Like you could have just, you know, taken a new photo, like a fresh photo for the competition. But I think I'll give her a pass if she really liked the photo. She justified it because it was her hair and all of that. And, you know, the makeup artist and photographer offered to send the HD version, so you know, let's give her a break for a moment. Yes, and it was a beautiful photo at the end of the day. So
I was in Masbate lang, Tito Boy, so I didn't have much training. But Tito Boy, the thing is kasi I have trained since I was 15 for beauty pageants.
Okay.
I was in Masbate, but then for the swimsuit challenge, I wanted to go to Manila so that I would be able to have some support also and input from my camp Kisses.
Kisses and Queens, right.
So I went to Manila po, yun po yung sumakay sa Roro, and it was a Titanic experience.
Tapos pagdating,
And then the moment
swimwear ka agad. How was it?
It was my first swimwear photo shoot, but really it's about embracing your
I
body.
remember this.
A lot of people say this in advertisements, but really, it's hard work. Eradicating your doubts as they come. So parang ninja. For example, there's a doubt that comes.
What's the best way to go?
I think
Because I'm sure a lot of young girls who really will be watching this.
Okay, before they continue, I'm really glad to see that she decided to really take the support from her camp and go to Manila for the swimsuit photo shoot because I believe it's one of the most important ones. And I remember putting Kisses on my top picks for the swimsuit challenge, and a lot of people were giving me like such a hard time. Like they were not happy because Kisses made my list. But I thought that she was looking beautiful, and honestly, she looked very, very fierce. Talking about her camp, a lot of you guys have been asking for an interview with Kisses. However, it's something that I was not able to make it happen because I really had a bad experience with someone from her camp. I'm not gonna spill names because that's not my objective, but I was not able to get to her, you know. I was telling you about it on Twitter and all of that, and some people thought that I was, you know, bashing her whatsoever, which I'm not. I understand that it's not her decision. She's not the one who responded to me or anything. So it's really impossible that I could bash her or blame her for something that is completely, probably she never even got the message. But I do wish that maybe she had like a better surrounding. I don't know, because her team might not be doing her justice. She's a lovely person, and the way that they responded was definitely not lovely. But let's keep watching. I'm sure that they will talk about more of the challenges.
to all the young girls, you really have to make yourself feel light, not heavy.
Okay, how do you do that?
I think
Is it mental?
it's also about, it's a mix of mental and physical.
Okay.
You don't think to yourself, oh, I'm heavy. No, feel light, feel light.
How was the swimwear? Did you do well?
There are always going to be mixed reactions.
Mixed reactions.
Overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Because what I wanted to achieve was that I was sexy, I was a woman, but I didn't want to be too sexy.
Too
That
sexy.
people wouldn't
Yeah.
see a trace of myself. I wouldn't want to be too transformed.
So after the swimwear, what happened?
There's the interview challenge for the boy.
Ah,
Just
okay.
yesterday, I was supposed to message you, but then I fell asleep.
Okay.
It was a Zoom interview, and we were asked 3 questions. And before that, we were to introduce ourselves, and so the board of judges were there. And sobrang quick lang, because you have to introduce yourself in 45 seconds and answer the question in 30.
So how did you introduce yourself?
Because in the trainings kasi, they want you to challenge.
Mm.
Think about your life story, what you want to share, which version of you. And what really stood out to me that I want to share is that I'm a miracle baby. It colored how I live.
Right. So what were the questions? Interesting.
Okay, so this is actually something that I said during my review of the interview challenge. Is was that for some reason I found it a little bit redundant that Kisses talked about her miracle baby story during her introduction video and then once again during her interview. A lot of you told me at that point, you never know, maybe it's like a strategy, like her team might be telling her to do this, and this is the confirmation that we were waiting for. Once again, this is for you to realize that sometimes a lot of the things that we are presented are not necessarily coming like 100% from the candidate. Maybe they would like to talk about other things, but this is what her team believed that was the best and safest choice to go for the interview challenge. And definitely it's inspiring, you know, you get to know her a little bit better and understand some of her motivations in life. But yeah, I thought that especially during the interview when they ask you to present yourself, that was like an opportunity to show us a different side of her. Yeah.
The questions, there was one about Shakespeare saying that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So what can people see the moment they look at your eyes?
What did you say?
And
How did you answer that?
I answered that by saying that I'm ready. I wanted the people to know that this Miss Universe job is something that I am ready for. And there's this question also, Tito Boy, about a lot of critics
I like that she called it a
saying
job.
that beauty pageants are promoting stereotypes. And so what can we say about that? And I told them that that itself is a stereotype because we should be able to do what we want. And actually, I mentioned that joining beauty pageant and owning yourself, that's one way of breaking the stereotypes, I think. Because I've seen a lot of girls that after they have joined a beauty pageant, their whole attitude about themselves has changed. There was also the question of how did the...
Okay, before they move to the pandemic question, although I wasn't crazy about the introduction, you know, that she made for the Miracle Baby during the interview challenge, I really did like the way that she answered the question for the stereotypes. I felt like she was so straight to the point, so direct, and she wasn't like sugarcoating things. She just called out like the presenter, Mr. Voltaire. She was like, that is a stereotype itself. And I like that type of confidence and being so sure of herself. Although, you know, it's a very stressful situation. I know for a fact that most candidates were shaking during the interview challenge because you never know what they're gonna ask you. You never know how it's gonna go. If there's gonna be like a technical problem with the connection, with the internet. And as part of the audience, you only see the presenter and the candidate, but realistically, they were seeing everyone from the organization, including Rabia Mateo. Like, it was super intimidating, but she was so sure of herself. She was super confident and she was able to deliver like a very impactful answer, in my opinion. So very good, Kisses.
experience through the pandemic changed.
Oh,
And I answered that very honestly that because of being away from my work, it was also sad for me. But when you get used to it, you are able to make these people smile. You also miss it. A lot of people say that, thank you for inspiring me, thank you for making me smile. But really, you make me smile.
So after the interview challenge, meron bang mga ibang challenges? You had a pasarela, right?
Yes, the runway
Mm.
The runway.
Tito Boy, I was so excited about the runway challenge.
People
Because
hated
I
me
A
because
girl's
I
walk
gave her one of my
says so
picks
much
for the
about
Pasarela
your
challenge.
demeanor as you walk.
I got
And
so much
when I
hate
was
for that.
15, I was taught pasarela. My trainer told me that we can teach every girl the same thing,
Mm.
but every girl would walk differently
Yeah.
because their personality is in it. And that's what I love about pageantry. It's so much celebrating the self-expression
Mhm.
that we do.
I like it. You said that, we can teach girls how to walk, but each one will do it differently because each one has a unique, peculiar personality. What kind of a walk do you have? Show me that.
Oh,
Walk with
come on now, Kisses. Show us how you do it.
But secret ko lang po sa pageant.
May mga secret lang eh.
I like to put all my weight here at the back. And then when
At the back?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then and then
Not Tito Boy Abunda imitating the walk though.
this leg is so light. It's floating because all my weight is at the back. So every time I step, all my weight is here naman, not at the back.
But you know that, but when you walk, hindi mo na iniisip yun.
Yeah.
It comes natural na.
Yes.
It comes naturally.
Okay.
Wow! That's how you walk it. Panonoodin mo natin kung ano yan. We're now going to go to the questions of the birds to close this interview. How are beauty pageants relevant to the time of the pandemic?
I think that beauty pageants are relevant because they are giving joy to those who love beauty pageants.
I agree.
If there's anything that we should do right now, it's to be welcoming of all the interests that people have and celebrate those things. Because a lot of girls are also having their confidence. And not only with the girls, the designers too. We need a little more.
You are at a pearly gates. God is there and says, you can ask him one question. What would you ask him and why?
Good question.
I'd really love to know why he saved me during all those times that I could have done. I want to know what makes me special because that will inform how I will live.
Okay?
Yeah, indeed, applause, because that is a very deep answer and a very meaningful answer as well. I mean, out of all of the incidents where she could have died, she's still here, and obviously this girl has a purpose. I wanted to go back quickly to the previous answer that she said about how a pageant is relevant during a pandemic. I agree with her 110% in the sense that it brings hope for the people, it's entertainment, it changes your mind, it takes you away from your problems for a few moments. And it just feels like it's something that people need in times where we cannot really be together. Pageants are able to bring us together in a way that we cannot be it physically. Honestly, so far we are halfway the entire video, and I feel like Kisses is just being so genuine, so down to earth. The girl really is doing this because it's her dream, because it's her passion, and I feel like she understands what is gonna come out of this. Whether it's the positive, whether it's the negative, she is ready to take it and accept it and just focus on the final goal, which is the crown and then the international stage. I feel like the best thing was that Kisses was able to do this interview with Tito Boy Abunda because you can tell that they like one another, they trust one another, and it really shows on screen. But anyways, that's just a general perception. Let's keep watching because they have more questions.
Should a transgender woman be allowed to join beauty pageants?
If that trans woman would be able to celebrate herself the most if she joins in the universe pageant, go for it. Because women are multi-dimensional. And if you're a trans woman and you want to win this universe, put your heart into it. You will make a change.
I like her for that. I like her. Respect! Now my camera is not focusing on me, gosh.
Perfect imperfection. When you hear this, what comes to mind?
My vulnerability. Because people consider this my biggest weakness. That I'm very vulnerable, very sensitive. But it's my biggest strength. This imperfection, I am able to understand people. That when people cry, when I see someone cry, I cry.
Whoa.
Because I know how it feels to be that sad. That's my strength.
Oh, I love that. That's honestly just like her addressing every single basher out there, telling her that she's to this, she's to that, like she's not ready, I feel like Kisses is really using this opportunity of having this huge platform with Tito Boy Abunda to just talk her truth and put her version out there, and I love it. She looks so fierce, so confident, so beautiful, and so humble while doing it. That's something very, very rare. So, although as a pageant vlogger, sometimes I have to give her props for certain things, sometimes I have to criticize other things, I have to be honest, and I like her as a person, for who she is, for what she brings to the table. I appreciate the way that she handles herself, that she treats others. It's just remarkable, honestly.
Would you rather be influential or powerful?
I think I would rather be influential.
Okay.
Because when you speak to someone and you are influential, you are able to make this person rise up. Most especially now in this COVID pandemic. If there is an anti-vaxxer, there is so much power if you're influential. Because this person will be able to be swayed into the right direction if you know how to say the right words.
This is my controversial question. Prioritize kisses ago. When is it okay not to be okay? And when is it
not
not
this.
okay to be not okay?
Tito,
It's okay
let
to
it
be
rest.
not okay when you need time to heal. But it's not okay to continue to be not okay when some people can benefit from you fighting to go into the deep and try to be okay no matter how hard it is, so that other people, you can help other people to be okay.
What fear
Okay, she tried to answer that question to the best of her ability. So props to you, Kisses, for giving it your best shot. But this question, Tito Boy Abunda, we need to put it to rest. This is not it. This is not. It's not gonna happen. I know that it feels like a very deep, meaningful questions, but it's just confusing. Put it to rest.
do you have that you would like to conquer? And why?
The fear that I will not be loved for exactly as I am. I feel that sometimes I intimidate someone too much that I like. I feel like there's no one for me sometimes because I'm a lot of things. I hope I conquer that because I know time will come and the right person will come and I would never have to doubt that all along I wouldn't have found him.
What is the most significant change you've seen in the world in the last 10 years?
The change that happened in the COVID pandemic. Because in 10 years, that's little change compared to what happened in the time of the pandemic, where people came together. Because, for example, the vaccine was made out of the impossible. I think that gives us a peek in how much this society, the human race, can actually conquer as a whole.
Yo, I have the chills. I have the chills.
World leader whom you admire and why?
I really admire this leader. She's a general and her name is Gabriela Sula. She's not a president, but she might as well be because of everything that she has done for the Philippines and everything she has done for women.
What advice would you give a 16-year-old girl for her to become more socially aware and become empowered like you?
Empowered like
Being
Kisses, sana all.
socially aware comes with first being self-aware. Because being self-aware, you will be able to know your strengths and weaknesses. And once you know that, the other outer things is easier to manage. I like this.
I mean, so far she's doing an excellent job when it comes to answer to each one of these questions. Quite frankly, I was not expecting her to be this good because it doesn't seem to be very edited. I don't see like jump cuts whatsoever on the answers, so I feel like this is just like one take. The answer about the previous leader I really like because I've heard of this woman before. A lot of people look up to her and everything that she did for the Philippines and for women in particular. And what can I tell you? Overall, I feel like Kisses is just killing this Q&A. This is one of her biggest strengths. One of the reasons why I like her since the beginning, because when she was introduced to this pageant, the first thing that I was looking for was some Q&A examples of what Kisses have done before. And obviously there are quite a few with Tito Boy Abunda, so I knew that, you know, this will be one of her strengths. And she did not disappoint, but it's not over, so let's keep watching.
Do a 1-minute speech about your advocacy that you're most passionate about.
A lot of people should focus on giving to the poor. No matter whether it is money or it is service. Growing up, I noticed that my mother and father was able to help the poor by going into business. I think they were able to alleviate poverty somehow in my city by lowering down the prices, and that alone has changed a lot of things. But now we as people, no matter how little, we can give. Because I think that while we are enjoying our success, some of us, we have a fulfillment when we are able to give to the most vulnerable, most needy.
Okay. I like the answer. I like what she said. I feel like the execution precisely in the beginning was not maybe like the best wording, but the message itself, it's really, really strong. Like find ways to help others, to enhance the situation of those in a difficult position. for example, like the parents just like lowering the prices of the articles or the goods and services that they sell, that is already a good way to at least alleviate the situation of those going through a hard situation. So very good. Maybe I would have verbalized it differently, but the message is there, which is what really matters. And 1 minute, I mean, usually you get like 30 seconds. So Tito Boy is really pushing kisses here.
What kind of day would describe the best day in your life?
I achieve all my morning goals. I am able to work out. I am able to do my morning prayer. I'm able to give my mom and dad a bear hug. And then before the night ends, I was able to meet a person that someday make my heart spark.
Oh. Sana all.
Kung makakalusog ki Daddy. Why do you deserve the crown?
The
I
question.
think that I deserve the crown because I have been preparing for this my whole life. The world has prepared me for this. The experiences that has been given to me, the love, because I am able to give so much love, because I have first received that love from my mom, from my dad.
What is your definition of a winner?
A winner for me is not just during the game, but every moment before that, from backstage to backstage, without contest or with contest. That's the measure.
What are your thoughts about romantic relationships, which began and developed on social media during the pandemic life?
I think it's very much possible to find love on social media. Love knows no bounds. But I think there's so much more challenge nowadays with regards to social media. So I think that if your love is sincere and once you have established that connection in social media, you will solidify this by going to meet that person.
Women?
You know, for every single answer that she has been providing so far, I feel like she sounds so, just so sure of herself. And I like what she was telling precisely when they asked her about her definition of a winner and also why she is deserving of this crown. She was able to justify it with two things that are like the most important in my opinion. First of all, this is her dream. This is what she has been preparing for her entire life. So it's only logical and it's only reasonable that she will take the risk to join the competition, regardless of anyone's opinions, of anyone, giving her credit or discrediting her. I feel like this girl is just doing this for herself because this is what she has worked for such a long time. For the question about the winner, I couldn't agree more because as fans, we tend to think about the pageant until the moment that they get the crown. But when you get the crown, this is actually when the job starts. You still have to fulfill all of your obligations. You still have to do like a bunch of activities and a bunch of things that are related to the pageant. So it's important that more than anything, you are a deserving winner since day one. Backstage, when you interact with other candidates, when you interact with people, with sponsors, with the members of the organization, that's how you crown a winner. Because there is really no purpose in giving a crown to a beautiful girl, even if she can speak, even if she has a beautiful body, even if she has like a skill set. But behind the cameras, she is like completely different. So on that level, I am with Kisses, and she seems genuine. She seems very down to earth, very humble, and I feel like she treats people very fairly. Not some of the members of her team, but Kisses herself seems very genuine.
Make up 49% of the global workforce. What do you believe is the most important issue facing women in the workplace today?
There has been many strides in income equality. But I think that there should be more to be done in the pay of our women leaders, women workers. I think that it begins by asking for it. Really being bold that even though this has always been the way of paying our women workers, that we need to strive and fight that, this has to change. And it changes now.
What is the difference between healthy positivity and toxic positivity?
I like positivity in general, but I think that we can also have toxic positivity by not acknowledging our emotions if we conceal. Because emotions are there because we have to feel. In order to live, we have to live with our emotions. But there is a way to always turn things into positive, only if first we acknowledge and feel.
I felt that. Mm-hmm.
When is the right time to listen? And when is the right time to speak?
The right time to listen is when the person needs listening to. If that person needs your full attention, your acknowledgement, you need to listen and show that person you're there to listen. But I think it's time to speak when you know that your knowledge and your advice, your experience can inform that person to live a better life.
Kisses Delavin. That was so fun.
I had so much fun.
Aww.
This concludes our second episode of the Purple Chair interview.
Yeah.
You can feel the respect between these two, huh?
That may the desire of your good heart come true.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We will be with you in this journey.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. And to you out there, thank you. You stay blessed, you stay kind, stay healthy. And make your nanay, make your tatay proud. Take care of yourselves and of each other. And God bless us all. Goodbye for now.
Alright everyone, so that was pretty much my reaction to this entire interview, part 2 and part 3. And I am guessing that by now a lot of you might be wondering, Luis, how has your perspective about Kisses changed since the beginning of, before watching the interviews? And being completely honest, I feel like these interviews really gave me a better understanding of who she is as a person and the reasons why she is in the competition and why she is working so hard to try to get the title. She seems to be well prepared. She seems to be aware of the consequences of winning this title, not only positive but also negative. And she seems to be aware as well that there will be a lot of intensive work involved in this. I do believe her when she says that she has been preparing for this for the longest time, because this girl has been working since she was 3 years old and she has gone through so many hardships to make it where she is right now. I still believe that even if she gets the title, this is gonna be a challenge for herself, because quite honestly, it's not gonna be easy. And it doesn't matter how many times you tell yourself, I'm ready for the backlash. It's not the same just saying it, that being in that position where everyone is just like against you. I'm thinking of Rabia Mateo, and honestly sometimes my heart just breaks because that girl went through hell because of the public opinion. So I just hope that, if the stars align for Kisses, that she is able to have like a smooth journey, that she is able to get whatever she wants out of this experience. Like she was saying, it's not always about winning. She was telling us about her experience in PBB, and she said that her objective was not to win at the end of the day. She just wanted to live the experience and get into show business, because that was like the main goal, like opening new doors. And I just hope that this experience does the same for her. Whether she gets the title, whether she doesn't, I hope that everything else that will come after this will be positive, and that she will continue to uplift others, that she will be able to spread her message, to develop her career, and ultimately achieve her dreams in life. So I really hope that you guys enjoy my reaction. If you did, please don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know how did you feel about the interview, the questions, my feedback, all of it. Let's make this an interactive experience. And also don't forget to leave a like so that this video gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, my friends, come here and give me a hug, because that's a little tradition on my channel. And thank you for coming, spending some time here with me. And until I see you next time, as always, stay safe, be kind to one another, sending you all my love, all my kisses. Get it? Kisses? Okay, bye everyone.